In 1843, Charles Dickens was facing financial troubles with sales of his monthly serial Martin Chuzzlewit falling, and his publisher Chapman Hall threatened to reduce his monthly salary if sales fell further. To make matters worse, his wife was pregnant with their fifth child. Dickens needed to write something. At the time, Britain was exploring and reevaluating its Christmas traditions, such as caroling and new customs like Christmas cards and Christmas trees. Dickens was interested in exploring his childhood and the Christmas stories made by other writers like Washington Irving and Douglas Jerrold. Dickens was also inspired following a visit to the Field Lane Ragged School, one of several establishments for London's street children. Dickens wanted to create a story about class struggle and the ability of a selfish man to redeem himself by transforming into a more sympathetic character. He wrote this novel in 6 weeks. And in the middle of December that same year, A Christmas Carol was published and became an instant classic. With a successful book, adaptations are sure to follow. The first known adaptation was a stage production by playwright C.Z. Barnett at the Surrey Theatre in London. Titled A Christmas Carol, or The Miser's Warning, the play premiered in February of 1844, mere weeks after the book's publication. Ever since then, stage adaptations have been a norm every holiday season, whether it's a drama or a musical. Many theaters around the world put on a production every winter, including the Goodman Theater in Chicago, which has been staged every year since 1978. Since the invention of the kinetoscope in 1893, which allowed people to view moving pictures in 16 frames per second, film adaptations of A Christmas Carol were made. The earliest known film adaptation came in 1901, titled Scrooge, or Marley's Ghost, which was only 6 minutes long. Many short films followed, and funny enough, Seymour Hicks played Scrooge in 1913, who actually reprised the role from the stage. The first full-length adaptation came in 1916, titled The Right to Be Happy. This film had New Zealand actor Rupert Julian starring and directing the film. While it was the first full-length adaptation, it was still silent. But conveniently enough, the first sound film was the 1935 film. Now, there have been many classic adaptations of the story, such as the 1938 film starring Reginald Owen and the 1951 film with Alistair Smith, as well as an animated film starring Jim Carrey in 2009 and an adaptation starring Michael Caine and the Muppets in 1992. Not to mention the countless number of adaptations on TV, cartoons, comics, radio, and even podcasts and video games. I'm sure Charles Dickens will be happy to learn that we celebrate his classic story every holiday season.